Hey everybody! So I wanted to do just a little discussion video about that Vampire Diaries series finale. I do have a reaction video coming. However, I have to wait for the episode to be uploaded, and then also couldn't find the cord to actually connect the camera to my laptop, so I had to purchase one. So hopefully I'll get it on Monday, and then I can upload it and edit it then. But until then, I definitely wanted to do a video to just run through all of my feelings from that finale because, oh my gosh, I was so overcome with emotion. My brain has been like just consistently like running with all of my thoughts about that episode since last night. Ollie, my dog, wants to be in the video apparently, but my brain has seriously just been like non-stop ever since the episode was over, and I can't turn it off. So I figured I would put all my thoughts into a video and let you guys know how I'm thinking, and you guys can let me know if you agree with some of the things, if you disagree. It doesn't matter. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down the finale into things that I really loved about it, things that I didn't really like, and things that I'm still a little unsure, confused on. But thank you, and hope you guys like it. So first things first, I'm going to start with the things that I really, really enjoyed about the episode. And I think overall, I was satisfied with the way the finale ended for certain people's stories, and then not so much with others. There was a lot that I think that the finale was lacking. However, overall, I think that it was still a very good series finale. Mainly, I think that it wrapped up things very nicely for our big three, which is like Stefan, Elena, and Damon. I think that those three characters got, like their boat on top, and everything was wrapped up pretty nice and sweet for them. Main thing that I really, really loved about this episode was all of the deafen moments. Every single moment between Damon and Stefan, I was bawling. I loved them. I know that, like, the love triangle is what brought people into the show, but obviously the relationship between Stefan and Damon is the most important relationship of the series. So I was really glad that they focused the whole finale around that relationship. I will say that going into the finale, I did have a feeling that it was going to be Stefan was going to be the one to die because everyone kept saying that it was going to be Stefan. And then the more, little videos that they kept releasing throughout the past couple weeks, the more I was convinced that it was going to be Stefan that would die. They released one a couple hours before the episode yesterday that showed Stefan and Caroline telling each other that they loved you, and they were crying, and as soon as they released that video, I was like, okay, Stefan's definitely going to be the one to die, because they were saying it in such a way of like, I'm never going to see you again. It was like a goodbye. Going in, the people that I would have been okay with dying was actually Matt, only because Matt has been so irrelevant to me the past couple seasons, and then during season 7 and season 8, he just got really unbearable almost with his hate against vampires and his blaming all of them for everything bad that's ever happened to them. It was just kind of an annoyance, and honestly, to see him go at that point wouldn't have been the biggest deal to me. But I knew that it wouldn't be him to die because I'm sure a lot of other people felt that way, and I know Julie and Kevin really wanted something that would shock people. The second person I told myself I'd be okay with dying was Bonnie. Not because I wanted Bonnie to die. I actually adore Bonnie, but because she lost Enzo a few episodes back, I knew that if she died, more than likely they would be together and they'd be happy. So that's why I was telling myself, okay, if Bonnie dies, I'll be okay with that. And I think that we almost saw that too. Like when Bonnie's heart stopped and she saw Elena in the forest, Bonnie even said, I'm okay, I'll be with Enzo. And honestly, I was like, okay, Bonnie can just be the one to die then, and everyone will be fine. Everything will be okay. But alas, that was not how the episode played out, and it was Stefan that sacrificed himself. Which brings me to another point, is I really enjoyed the way Stefan went out. If you asked me to choose between Stefan and Damon, I've always chosen Damon in the past just because I've liked that character more, and it's mainly because I've liked to see the character development that Damon has gone through as the series has gone on. Because when the series started, Stefan was already good. Stefan has been good his whole life. He is like that good and pure brother. Even when he was, I know he went through his whole Ripper phases, but you could see like the immense guilt that he felt after every one of those. Alright, Ollie. But you knew like the immense guilt that Stefan felt every time that he would take a human life. I mean, you know that he never forgets the name of his victims, which we saw a few episodes back. Just because I like Damon, I guess, more than I like Stefan, doesn't mean that I don't like Stefan, though. I actually love Stefan. I love his character. I've always loved his character. I think, like Damon a little bit more, and I liked the relationship between Damon and Elena. I was a Selena fan. But that doesn't mean I don't have love for Selena. Stefan sacrificing himself to save the whole town was huge, and I loved him so much for it. Stefan sacrificed himself for his brother. Like, he wanted his brother to be able to live the life that Stefan took from him, because Stefan was the one that, forced Damon to become a vampire. And I think that he's always, blamed himself from that, and he's like feels really guilty about that. And I thought that was really beautiful that he died so that his brother could live the life that Stefan originally took for him. Sorry, I had to breathe because I was literally getting choked up. Because I'm just thinking about that moment of Stefan and Damon talking in the tomb, and they're crying, and I can only imagine like what it would be like to, say goodbye to your brother. When he like stood there holding Catherine as the fire was taking them, and he said goodbye, brother. Oh my gosh, I died. It hurt so much. And then Damon being reunited with Stefan was another ball of tears. It was so cute, and how he just said, hello, brother. And that's the last line of the show, is hello, brother, which I thought was so cute. And I think it says a lot about what they ultimately wanted the show to represent, to be a story about two brothers. I was really sad, though, about him and Caroline, because I think I spoke before in my last video about how I loved the friendship between Caroline and Stefan in the earlier seasons, and then they kind of, like, when they first started to become romantic, I was a little iffy because I loved their friendship so much, but as time went by, I grew to love them. And last week they had that beautiful, beautiful wedding. It was so perfect. And Stefan's literally married for not even a day. I think they were married for like maybe a few hours. And he has to say goodbye to his wife. I went into the episode thinking that the Delana reunion was going to break me, and only to find out that Caroline like ripped my heart apart. Oh my gosh. When they said those I love yous and goodbyes, I knew it. I was like, you guys are not going to see each other again. And that was so disheartening to me. And even when like Caroline left him that message, it was all just so sad, because I'm like, these people just got married and now they're being ripped apart. And I do think that like Caroline deserved better. They got to have like that one day of their wedding of happiness, but I wish that they would have gotten a lifetime together. I think that they deserved that. One of the other like favorite scenes that I liked was the Elena and Stefan reunion. Oh my gosh, I could not stop crying during that scene. And like I said, I always cherished that relationship, so it was big to me. And even after they broke up and they became like sort of best friends, I loved it even more, because I think that they work better that way as best friends than in a romantic relationship. And you could see it. I mean, Paul Wesley and Nina Dobrev killed that scene. They were both so perfect, because you have to portray an emotion saying that like you realize the importance that this person has played in your life, but it's not in that romantic way necessarily. She like immediately starts crying. I'm crying. Everyone's crying when he said, "It's good to see you, Elena." As soon as he said one last time, I was a total wreck because I was like, oh my god, they're literally never gonna see each other again. And Paul Wesley's face was so perfect in that scene. He was smiling so big because he missed her so much and loved her, but also crying because he's never gonna see her again. It was just, I thought it was perfect. My one quarrel with that scene, though, was when Stefan said that Damon was the better man. Look, I love Damon so much, but I don't necessarily think that. But I also don't necessarily think that Stefan is a better man. I think that they are both equal. They've both done things equally bad. A lot of people say that Damon has done worse, but I think that's only because we've seen all the terrible things that Damon has done. A lot of the terrible things that he's done has happened to our immediate circle that the show follows, and it's happened in the show's course. So we've seen them very up front. A lot of Stefan's horrible things are in his past, but let's not forget that he's killed hundreds of people when he was a Ripper, and then even in season 3 when he went on a killing spree with Klaus, we didn't see it, but they killed a ton of people up and down the East Coast. It does all go back to the fact that Stefan is the one that made Damon become a vampire in the first place. It started everything. I mean, Catherine started everything, obviously, but Damon turning, Stefan making Damon turn was a huge catalyst for the series. I actually loved the Caroline moment. So I'm a huge Caroline shipper. I don't care. I will take that ship with me to the grave. I know a lot of people hate us. Don't care. I adored that ship with everything inside of me. And do I think that the letter from Klaus to Caroline was total fan service? I do. Do I care? No, I don't. I loved it. I don't even necessarily think that that's ever something that the producers plan on pursuing on the show. I think that if they could, they would want to, but I think they just wanted to like leave that little hope open for all of us like crazy Caroline. I thought it was like a nice way to like give us that little hope and to like give us that possibility of one day seeing Caroline on the originals, which will hopefully be picked up for season 5 because I need it. One interesting fact that I thought was really cool that I read this morning. So they showed us the year that like Stefan was born on the tombstone, and it says 1846. Interesting enough, that would make Stefan 171 years old. And there were 171 episodes. The 171st episode was the last episode. The fact that Stefan was 171, and there were 171 episodes, and makes it seem like it was like a story of Stefan's life, which would actually take it back to the pilot, because Stefan is the one who delivers the opening monologue, and he says, "This is my story," and then it ends with 171 episodes, and he's 171 years old. So I feel like it really felt full circle. I don't know if that was something on purpose. It can't be a coincidence, though, right? Like, there's definitely, they had to realize and do that on purpose. Now to the things I didn't like. After the episode ended, I like took a little time. I read a bunch of articles. I like thought about things. And immediately after the episode was over, I was like, that was a really good finale, and I liked it. Then I started over-analyzing a bunch of shit like I probably shouldn't have. And because I was over-analyzing, I was like nitpicking and picking out different things that I didn't like. I turned into a crazy person. But I realized that there was probably a lot more about that finale that I disliked than I actually did like. Mainly, it was the fact that the whole like last 15 minutes of the episode felt really rushed, like really rushed. And I know that there was like a time frame on the episode. They only had 44 minutes for this one. And I know I saw like a tweet that Julie said that the original like cut of the episode was actually 18 minutes over, so she had to cut even more, which it's just frustrating. Like, I honestly do wish that it could have been 2 hours, because if it was 2 hours, like a full like 2 hours or even an hour and a half, they could have done a lot more with it. We got like the whole first half of Catherine, which honestly, yes, I love Catherine. I was very, very happy to see her again, but it was almost like she came back for nothing. Like, she had been using Cade this whole time, which made a ton of sense. and then she came back to just watch everyone burn. But she really just came back to just get stabbed over and over again, and that was it. Obviously, like, I'm a Delana shipper. I love them, and I have been waiting like 2 years for their reunion, and I was disappointed. I will say that, mainly because they didn't have one dialogue scene together, and that's what I wanted. I know they kissed once, but even the kiss was like so quick and it was over. I really wanted like a just them talking. I wanted to hear how much Damon missed her, how much Elena missed him, how much they loved each other, and it was just like not there. I felt like I was a little bit cheated almost on like a Delana reunion, and I was really upset by that because I was expecting like this big epic thing, and I know the pressure that would be under, but I feel like it was very underwhelming. And I'm so happy because I know that like they got there forever. They got their like happy ending. They lived their human lives together, and you know, I'm satisfied with that. I'm glad they did, but I would have liked to see a little bit of it. We got to see nothing of it. And I know they said they filmed a proposal scene, but they had to cut it for time. And I was like, I'd honestly preferred you put the proposal scene over any scene that had, you know, like Matt in it. I feel like there were other relationships too that I wanted to see more of. They had built up this great bromance between Damon and Alaric throughout the series, and obviously in the last 2 seasons it's been a little bit lacking, but there were still like little moments that were there. This season they've been like really broken though, and I feel like they never fixed it and they never addressed it, and I was upset at that. I wanted to see them like fix their relationship so that we know that they're like best friends again, and we didn't. I wanted to see Elena's reunion with everybody. We only saw her reunion with Stefan. We saw it with Damon, even though it wasn't satisfactory to me. We saw it with Bonnie, which was nice, but we didn't see it with anyone else. We didn't really see one with Caroline. We didn't see one with Alaric. We didn't see one with Matt. The season 6 finale did such a great job at saying goodbye to Nina Brave and giving her individual goodbyes with all these people and making them so special. I wanted to see that same kind of thing for her return. I don't know. It left me wanting more, and that's not what I think a series finale should be. Right in the last 15 minutes, we saw like a slur of old faces that everybody came back. For like 0.25 seconds, you see Jeremy. If you blink, you miss him. Like, I'm so serious. He was on the screen and gone that fast. It kind of felt like cheap to me. I never liked the character of Jeremy, ever. He just always got on my nerves. However, Jeremy came back and Elena was back, and we didn't see one scene of them together. They're brother and sister. Like, they haven't seen each other in what, like 4 years? They would have been so excited, and we didn't see one scene of them together. But things that I'm confused about in the episode. When Elena like woke up in the last like 15 minutes, Bonnie was like, I figured out how to break Kai's spell finally after all this time. And I was like, what? That's it? Like, she's not even tell us how she broke it. I was like, she just knows how to break it. I felt like that was a cop-out. We don't even get to see how she broke it, what she did to break it. I mean, Kai said if anyone tried to break it, they would both die. So I felt like it'd be a big deal. Predictions that people had that the twins siphoned the spell from Bonnie during that fire was a much better plan. They should have just went with that. Because Bonnie just saying that she broke the spells because she figured it out, and then us not seeing like how, didn't really work for me. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. But I did like the finale. It feels weird that there will never be another Vampire Diaries episode again. I don't think it's still fully sunk in yet. I'm actually going to a Vampire Diaries convention in about 3 weeks. I'm so excited for it. And I think after that convention is when, or even at the convention, is when it'll really hit me like, holy crap, it's over. I am excited though because the Originals comes back next week, and that is my one true love. I cannot wait for that show to start up again. The new season looks amazing. I love the Originals more than anything. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know in the comments what you think, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.